Well everyone, the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra is by far one of the best phones that Samsung has ever made, and to be honest, I definitely do think the S22 Ultra overlaps so much with the current S23 Ultra, and I definitely do think if you have the last generation of the Ultra phone, you might as well just go and keep and buy that, rather than picking up the current generation S23 Ultra, if I'm being completely honest. But let's go and talk about how this phone holds up in the later part of this year. Now, first of all, this phone came out early 2022, so it's approaching 2 years old right now. And on the front of this thing, it has a 6.8-inch dynamic AMOLED display. It's a very good panel, 120Hz curved glass display on that as well, and it definitely looks amazing. I think Samsung knocked out of the park back in 2022, and I still think it's completely worth buying from that standpoint. USB Type-C port on the bottom, headphone jack, USB Type-C port on the bottom, S Pen, and you're also getting that frosted glass back on the back of this phone too, which is genuinely so awesome. The camera sensor on this thing is crazy. It's like a quadruple camera setup, kind of like 5 sensors. And I think, again, like how much better of a camera can you get on this thing? You have 8K capability on the back, 4K at 60 on the front, such a solid sensor, and it still holds up so well in this day and age. Now, probably the best thing about this phone still currently is that it's still supported with software. You're still getting probably another 2 to 3 years of software support on this thing, which is very important when you're getting a phone of this caliber, because you don't just want to buy a phone today and have it outdated tomorrow. You want it still being here for quite a few years, so then you can actually go ahead and still use this phone and still get up-to-date features. And with a phone like this, you're going to be perfectly fine from that standpoint. So even if you buy this phone for 1 year, you're good, or multiple years, you're still going to be fine, which is actually very, very good. Now, from a performance side of things, this phone does have that Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset inside, with 8 gigs of RAM on the base model, but it does go up to 12. And the one thing I will definitely tell you about this phone is that the performance of this device is still very, very good. This is a very good performing phone, and really no matter what you're going to do with it, you're going to be getting, having a very solid time with it. Personally for me, when I'm using something like the S23 Ultra, S22 Ultra, even the S21 or S20 Ultra, these phones are probably some of the best performing phones of that year on the Android side, probably even of all time. So when you're buying something like the S23 or S22 Ultra, you are still buying a phone that is probably the best performing phone of that year. That is an amazing thing to have in a phone like this, and that's personally one of my favorite features, kind of in a way, of getting a device like this in 2023. Also, honestly, the other interesting thing, this thing has a 5000 mAh battery, which is the same size almost as the S23 Ultra. In fact, I think it is exactly the same size. So you're basically getting a lot of overlapping features. The design is practically the same. Of course, you're getting more RAM options, you're getting a better chipset on the S23 Ultra, but I think Samsung did a tremendous job with the S22 Ultra. And if you're not too worried about the 8 Gen 1, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset, kind of overheating issues and the thermal throttling that can kind of happen with that particular chipset, I think you're looking at a very good, around $500, maybe even sub $500 device on something like the base model S22 Ultra. So in terms of that kind of covers it up here. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, more importantly than that, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.